You hear great jazz on GJRB with the best of jazz, up-and-coming jazz, and smooth afternoon. If you can't get enough of jazz and you live in the Quad Cities area, tune in to KALA, St. Ambrose University in Davenport, Iowa, at 88.5 on the FM dial. Along with some of that great smooth jazz, you'll hear a lot of great jazz programming, and programming in other great music formats, like blues, urban, including rap, also classic R&B and Motown with David Baker on Rewind, Friday nights at 6 p.m. Central. In addition, you get programming in Spanish and some great gospel programming too. For more information on that great programming you'll hear, check out their schedule at www.sau.edu/KALA. Even if you don't live in the Quad Cities area, you can enjoy KALA anywhere in the world with their internet stream. Connect with KALA. Listen and enjoy. Whether it's baseball, basketball, hockey, even bowling, it's covered on Gary J's sports page. I'll talk about what's going on in the world of sports all over the USA. We'll read you interesting articles about the players and even keep up with the scores of the games going on live. I'll even have guests from time to time and just talk sports. Better than any newspaper page, it comes alive. Gary J's Sports Page. Join me for Sports Page at a brand new time, alternating Saturdays at noon on GJRB. You hear great jazz on GJRB with the best of jazz.
This is Michael J. Martin, and you're listening to the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online. This is Michael J. Martin, and you're listening to the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online.
there's a good friend of mine who we've been playing his songs since 2014, if I'm mistaken, 13 or 14. And that is Michael J. Martin. And that is Martin. Don't know if he's recording anymore, but he just recently moved out of the Carolinas where he was living. And now I think living in Illinois, but facing some separation issues. So I'm sorry about that, my friend. I hope things go well for you. The Gary Russen program on GJRB Online on Spreaker. We're doing 45 minutes of non-stop talk, actually, here as we continue the program. So we're going to be doing non-stop talk now until we flip to the last part. Okay? So you want to be part of the program, you can join me here on GJRB Online. And we'll be talking with you all afternoon. Well, I didn't want that. Did not want that. Okay, I wanted to... hit that button, and you know what happens when it happens? Yeah, I like when I push buttons and everything goes wrong. Anyway, let's see. Kind of go here, run that, and okay. And this is a freestyle show anyway, but I have to fix my web-based mixer because my web-based console actually quit again, and I have to do something with that. What do they call that thing? Flash player. Because apparently it's not letting me run the web-based mixer. So I'm going to have a look at it sometime when I'm off the air here. I don't know. It's just, sometimes I deal with temperamental stuff, why is that? It's just plain crazy. But anyway, I'm glad you could be aboard with me. I'm Gary Russen. This is the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online. This is where we talk about anything that's in the news, and usually is. And thank you for tuning in this afternoon and talking with me today. We're doing 45 minutes of nonstop talk here on GJRB Online. We do take a little break, and then we come back around again. But, so let's make it 40. 45 minutes or so at the end, a little less than that. We'll wrap it up. But we have a lot of time to talk yet. So I hope you'll stick around for more of the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online. And we're going to continue to do news and comment here on GJRB Online. And that means that we kind of doing a freestyle here. Freestyle, which we usually do on a Freestyle Friday, but I usually pick another day of the week to do freestyle. And sometimes I'll do the Gary Russen program freestyle for a while. And just kind of extend it for a while. And so I'm going to be doing freestyle for a while because, as you will know, this is... on Friday is our last broadcast for a week, and then we'll be back on the air on November 3rd with a makeup broadcast. And if you have been aboard our GJRB Spreaker public site, I had just uploaded a GJRB schedule update podcast, and the podcast tells you the podcast is the rundown of what we're doing over the next couple of months. Now, each month I do another podcast. Each month I will do another podcast for the following month. And I'm shifting the programs around a little bit. And I'm just doing everything freestyle for a while. No log, just, pretty much free form. And wrapping up the year. And then while I'm doing that, I'm working on building up the programming for 2018. And starting to work on some of the shows for that. And start planning on doing some programming there. So it's going to be a lot of shifting around and just doing freeform radio. Going on the air just for the fun of just going on the air again. And I'm going to be doing a lot of that in the next couple of months. And if this really is better for me, I'm just going to do some loose stuff, just for a while. because I lose stuff, meaning mixing my programs around and going on the air whenever I can, and just having freeform shows like this one, because I don't, right now I can't prep too much ahead of time, because coming up here pretty soon is going to be, it's that time. I have an appointment to go to Iowa City. Don't know exactly when. I am waiting for stuff in the mail to come from them, and I will have to go to Iowa City for a look at that tumor. I'm not exactly sure, but they're saying that I might have to have brain surgery to get that out. And if that's the case, I probably will be off the air for a while. So I don't know yet what's going on with that. I'm just going to leave it open and leave our programming open and just do whatever, whenever. And just be just pretty well more flexible in the broadcast programming for a while. Until I get notice of what's going to be happening here. So I just thought I'd kind of pass that along because I don't know what's going to be happening in that period of time. So this is a freeform show, and the next Gary Russen program I'm going to be doing, I'm looking at November 7th, which is another Tuesday. Things go good. November 7th. Now, remember, all programs are subject to change. It can change without notice. That's under the tentative, you know what I'll call that? Anything, like I told you the other night in the podcast, all programs are not promoted until 72 to 24 hours before air date. So that means that any programs from now that are on the air from the beginning of November, I did announce the Crooners program, but that was way a little too far in advance because that's well over a week. So anything lasting well over, anything that's on the air, that's scheduled to be on the air well over a week from now on the GGRB program schedule, over a week from now, that is what is called the tentative zone. Yeah, how about that? I like that. The tentative zone. Yeah, okay. I just thought, why is it? I thought it would do I could try that. Let's see if that works. I don't know if that worked because I did have it. Let's see, the tentative zone. Okay. That's like my little echo chamber. Anyway, it's where all the programs from now until all the way to the end of November, all including Thanksgiving, are all under that zone, which means that these programs will go on. They are on the schedule, but they are in the tentative zone, meaning that they could get changed. They could get moved or canceled. And like I said before, they'll go in the broadcast bank, and then I reschedule them for a different time. I leave. What I usually do is I purposely leave some days, broadcast days, open on the schedule, and I told you on the podcast that I have a little portable calendar, and each year I get a new one. And on that portable calendar, I write down the programs that I'm going to be planning to put on the air in that portable calendar. And I write it in with a pencil. I have a lead pen, actually. I like these little 7-meter lead pens put out by Bic. I love these things. And I have an eraser. And I write everything in pencil. So if I have to change the schedule, all I got to do is erase it and move it around. Change it to another date. I did that the other day with this program. This program was supposed to have originally aired on Monday, but I canceled it because I had I canceled it. I can't remember what was the reason why I canceled it Monday. There was something going on. I can't remember now. But anyway, I called it Monday. I think it was because I had some stuff to do to work Friday, but I also had, I was helping my wife with something, and we had to go somewhere in the evening, or prayer at our church. And there was a few things that I had to give back to the lady there, that some containers that we had. And so the day was relatively cut short, so I decided just to pull that show. Then on Tuesday, yesterday, I didn't get very much sleep. Sometimes I get those nights where I don't feel well. You know, you ever get those nights? It's not that I didn't feel well, it's just I felt kind of like crappy, like, it was hard to explain. Anyway, just kind of a tight stomach, or I get acid coming back some nights. And once in a while, the acid will get pretty bad where it keeps me up at night. It just come right back. It will drive me nuts. I hate that acid reflux, but I got it. And it keeps me up at night. And Monday night was one of those nights that I was up until it finally settled down at around 4 in the morning. And I had to get up at 8 o'clock to, because we have a friend comes over, helps me and my wife, and we wanted to do some cleaning and stuff, and get things ready for the winter. And we were winterizing things. I had to get our winter coats out and stuff, and our winter clothes, and because of winter. And I was just like dead tired that whole day. I was not feeling well at all. I was just dead tired. And sometimes when I get dead tired, where I have a very low amount of sleep, I'll feel kind of weak and dizzy, kind of. I had kind of a bad headache that day, on and off, and I do once in a while have blood pressure problems. I sometimes I get high blood pressure, and I think that was one of those days where it just was kind of a weak day. I was just not feeling well at all, so I just kind of like took that day off, and got things ready for today, and so I went to the last 7 days this morning at our church, at Burger King. By the way, I got that ready. I'll have that ready to go up for you probably tomorrow. I'll have that uploaded. Got some interesting stories on that one. I'm going to have to look up some of them and tell you a few of them. They're really interesting. A couple of them are really interesting. We kind of connected with the Book of Revelations. Real interesting story. Talking about a man who, I don't know, he wrote a movie, and he made a movie, he produced it or something. I can't remember the name. Oh, yeah, Da Vinci Code. The guy that made the Da Vinci Code. See if I can find that. Talk about that coming up a little later on next hour. It is interesting, this thing. I'm not kidding you. This guy, let me see if I can find it. Let's see if I can, the man who wrote the Da Vinci Code. I'm going to, see here a minute. I'm going to type something in here. The Da Vinci Code. Code writer. Let's see where you're at. Da Vinci Code writer is making another book, or something about the AI God. Let's see, it's called the AI God. Creating a God. Let's see if I can just put AI God. Let's see. They're coming up with this. Or maybe it's called the AI Code, something like that. I'm going to see if I can find this. This is interesting. I should have wrote it down. Maybe I had it. Anyway, he's making an AI God. Design sketches that produce a source code leaning toward create a better machine leaning toward, or what they call AI God. Researchers, man, that's not it. I'll have to find it. Oh shoot. Let's see if I can find it. I'll find it later. I'll try to do it after the hour because this is interesting. I gotta find this after the hour. It is bizarre. It's fascinating. So that's coming up, and we'll do that. And let's see what else we can find up for you here as we continue the Gary Russen program. I'm going to do a scroll through social media, and we'll do that. I want to let's see here. I want to go and do that. Birthdays and stuff here, and do obits. So let's do the celeb birthdays. I'm going to do that, and then we'll do the celebs, and then after the hour we'll do a sports page. So that's what we'll do coming up. Okay, we'll do that. We'll have a sports page coming up next hour. So let's see here. I'm going to go to that Gary J sports page. Let's see. It's not going to do it. Okay, here we go. Okay, Gary J's sports page, we'll have that coming up next hour. And we'll do a very much a conversational sports report. And see what's in the sports page. Some interesting stories, too. Are you following the World Series? You know, I'm not really following it. It's not that I don't want to, because it's kind of a bummer this year being the Cubs aren't in it. But it looks like very interesting. I think Houston won it. Who won it? Dodgers won it yesterday, I think. Dodgers won it yesterday. So I don't know. We'll find out. We're going to do a sports page coming up, and we'll call that up. But right now, though, it's time to do the scroll through social media. So I want to do that. I'm going to go in there and pull that up. Okay. I don't know why I'm making that noise. I cleaned this computer, I think, the other night, and sometimes I think it goes slow when I'm broadcasting from it. I don't know. Let me see here. Slightly, anyway. Okay, I want to go down to where I do the scroll through social media. That's under the Gary Russen program. I'm going to try to find that and then invite you to be in on the act. Come on, you can do this. I'm sure, Rachel Ozzie Jarvis lost us. I know, we lost her in the last break, about 2 breaks ago. So please come back. I'd love to hear from you. Please come back. And let's see. Why don't we do that? Let's do this. Scroll through social media.
Let's scroll through social media.
That means that we go through Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, and find stuff to talk about. We see your postings, and if your postings become part of the show, if your postings become a good part of the show, you'll be mentioned on the air. Okay? So let's see, want to go down the page a little bit. And of course, you're welcome to be part of the show here on GJRB Online. I'm glad you could be part of the show. The Gary Russen program on GJRB Online on Spreaker, as we do over 40 minutes of non-stop talk here on GJRB Online. I'm going to probably spread this show around in the last, let's got about 21 minutes left in this segment. So I'll probably kind of splash around a little bit, so to speak, and see if there's anybody out there who may be listening to the program today. Let's see here. Let's see, what am I doing? Oh, why am I clicking that for? It's not where I want to go. Let's see here. Okay, we already did that. Can't get confused the computer doing that. Okay, I'm going to turn it up a little bit, and I'm going to, I already have the sports page updated on there, don't I? Why did I need to put that in there? Okay, I wanted to go into and get my scroll through social media. That's what I'm trying to get. Okay, let's see. I want to go to the, bit of a show. It's like disappeared. And I used to have it in here. What happened to it? It was on here. I'm going to go a little further up the page here and see if maybe it's under the Best of the Gary Russen Program podcast. Yeah, there it is. I have two screens. I think that's what it is, and I couldn't find it. Let's see here. Some of the past shows are on here. I gotta clean this out. Maybe that would help. A lot of the shows of 2014 and all that have been on there for some time. So I'm gonna do a computer clean out after this next hiatus. Around that time, I'm gonna clean this out. So I can't find a bit of a show. I want to look for it. I want to see it. Okay. Okay, let's see if maybe we can find this stupid bit of a show. Gotta be in there. Come on. I know what's in here. Bit of a show. Come on. I'm going to make a new jingle for that, I think. What was that? Well, if I hadn't lost my other mixer today and wasn't able to broadcast from it, I had it on there. But somehow I cannot find it on here. And I had it on the computer. It just disappeared. I hate when I lose my jingles, you know? This is ridiculous. It should be on there. I just don't get it. I want to kind of go into my site here a little bit. It's getting close to 4 o'clock here on GJRB Online, and I'm Gary J. Russen. You're listening to the Gary Russen program on a Freestyle Wednesday. So we're going to do Freestyle Tuesdays. We did it one time before. This is a Freestyle Wednesday. We're going to do Freestyle Gary Russen programs pretty much the remainder of the week. The remainder of the next couple of months, until I find out exactly what's going on with this whole thing with my tumor. So I'm just going to do freestyle shows up until then, playing around, getting things ready, and because I can't schedule programs that well, and I can't promote 24 to 48 hours or so, 72 to 24 hours before a show. And no, I cannot find that darn blasted bit of a show. Where did it go? Let's see if I can find it over here. Okay, where the blazes is it? Okay. Read me. It's a zip. Why is it a zip? What the heck? I don't understand that. But anyway, I guess I'll just have to get it again. That's all there is to it. For some reason, it got deleted off the computer. My bit of a show promo got deleted off the computer, and now I have to get it again. Just plain annoying. The why disappeared. I didn't delete it, but it's gone. Brother. I don't know. Oh well. Anyway, let's just skip that shenango and get into something else here. I'm going to go ahead and 4 o'clock right on the snot, folks. You're listening to GJRB Online. It's 4 o'clock East, 4 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock East, 2 o'clock Pacific right now.
From America's heartland, this is GJRB, Clinton, Iowa.
And you're listening to the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online on Spreaker across America on a Freestyle Wednesday. And then we'll do another one, which will be, I'm going to try to squeeze in a Freestyle Friday, but looking at my calendar at this time, I don't think I got one, because I got pretty much my Fridays booked. for this month. So I'm going for next month. What did I do with my calendar? Anyway, I'm going to try to see if we can do a Freestyle Friday, but if not, I'm planning on another Freestyle Tuesday Gary Russen program on the 7th. So we'll do a free-form show, and we'll open it up and have another blast here on the Gary Russen program. It will be an open show, and then we're going to be working on the. I'm thinking about changing the. I'm thinking about changing the format of this program anyway, just a little bit, and do something different with this. This is a news talk program. It's going to still be a news talk program. But I'm going to find a better way to organize my stories so that they are a little bit more tighter on a tighter show. And on tighter programs, I don't do news and comment. I just go through and find late-breaking stories as they happen on the social media. So that's how I do that. But I like doing this freestyle show, so it might end up where a format change is just going to be freestyle all the time. So you never know, I might just do that. And I'm not really happy with the sound coming through here. And I'm not sure I'm coming through. I'm not sure I'm being heard. And it just starts to get annoying. Okay, I'm going to go down the line a little bit now and see what's going on in the news. See if there's any news breaks. Here's an interesting story. Mark your calendars, folks. Liberals plan to scream at the sky over Trump. Here we go. Oh, no. This is from End Time Headlines, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Your liberals are so mad about Trump that they're gonna do this. Yes, they're going. This is pathetic. When does this end? When they're gonna scream at the sky? Like that's gonna do anything for them. Let's hope that they know Jesus Christ. Because here we go, ladies and gentlemen, with the liberals. This is the they didn't get their way. They didn't get their way. So they're gonna scream at the sky. They're just all.
Donald J. Trump is now president of the United States.
This is not a joke. According to Facebook invites, more than 4,000 people nationwide are planning to scream their lungs out at the sky as a protest on the anniversary of President Trump's historic election win on November 8th.
Donald J. Trump is now president of the United States.
Just isn't this pathetic? Really? It is just plain pathetic. A bunch of whiny crybabies. I'm telling you. They don't get their way. They have to cry at the screen, at the scream of the sky because Donald Trump is president. Good Lord. Poor babies. What a shame. They have to scream at the sky. They didn't get their way. They didn't get Hillary. Well, it's their problem. They want a gangster for president. This is it. Because that's exactly what she is. Her, Obama, George Soros are all part of the criminal syndicate. They're all criminals. Every single one of them. And you want them to run your country. Why? Why do you want that? Why do you want them running your country? You don't want that. They're criminals. They're the untouchables. They commit crimes. They sell money to the enemy for uranium. They sell uranium. They're responsible for the deaths of men in Benghazi. But yet, you want him to be your president. Low-life criminals. This is what the liberals want. They want a criminal as a president of the United States. They want someone who is
been responsible for killing Vince Foster. Yeah, you remember. Vince Foster? Yeah, he was murdered by the Clintons. Yeah, how about that? He knew a little too much. How about that? And you want them to be your president. Isn't that pathetic? Really, totally pathetic. You want them to be your president. The president of the United States, you want to, you might as well just take an inmate from the maximum security prison and put him in the White House. Same thing. Criminals. They're responsible for treason against the American people. Barack Hussein Obama. You know, I laughed. There was a posting on Facebook about a couple of days ago. I think I saw this. And it's funny. I like it. It's hilarious. It says that, you know, ESPN, they fired that one guy who's named Robert Lee. But yet, you had a president of the United States with the middle name Hussein. Figure that one out. I mean, really. This is just what I'm saying, folks. You prefer to have a criminal in the White House who stole from the American people. This is what they are. They are I don't care. Hillary Clinton is the mafia, folks. Just face it. The mafia. If you know too much, more than likely you'll be killed by the Clintons. Yeah. If you know just a little too much, yeah, they'll fry you. You'll be dead if you know a little too much, and the Clintons will finish you off, folks. Yeah. So think about that a little bit. Do you really, really want a criminal for the President of the United States? Sure, maybe President Trump has not really been an angel. I'm not saying that, but the point of the matter is, I just plain sick of these people. These leftist liberals are a bunch of crybabies, every single one of them. Just get over it. Yes, it's been a year. But it's also been a year the Cubs won the World Series. Yeah, a year. Yeah. The Chicago Cubs, who deserved to win at least one World Series, won it last year. And that is what I'm happy about. The Cubs win the World Series last year. But you know what? I kind of like LA, the Dodgers. I don't know. I mean, I quite frankly, I'm rooting for Houston here. Yeah, I hope Houston does get it all the way. I really do. I hope the Astros go all the way. Because quite frankly, I was hoping that the Cubs would win this World Series this year again. I'd like to at least get in again one more time. But it would be justice for me, folks, to see the Los Angeles Dodgers lose. Really would. Just it would give me pleasure to see them lose. So I hope that I really am looking to see Houston win this World Series. So if I follow a little of this World Series, I hope that Houston wins it. Hey, you know what? I think the press will here's a story coming out of Washington from ABC News. I think the press creates a different image of Donald Trump than the real person. This is what Ivy Leaguer said. Said about Trump. I want to any Ivy Leaguer college, and I'm a very intelligent person. Now let's not know who's saying this. So I'm going to go to that page just real quick here. I don't know what that is exactly. Trump in front of a bunch of microphones. ABC is counting down here, so they're going to play video. Because their videos start right away as soon as you get in their page. But then sometimes they stick. So I really don't like to care to play them if they stick. So what I'll do is I'll put it on pause so it doesn't play.
Sergeant Johnson's wife said she was really...
Okay, let me see what this is. There's an article, and I don't know exactly what it is, but... I know what this is. This is about Sergeant David Johnson. Donald Trump said Wednesday that he is extremely nice and extremely respectful to the widow of a soldier killed in an ambush in Niger. And they spoke to her on a condolence on the phone last week, and the latest indication is going to discord between the White House and the family of Sergeant David Johnson. Trump shared the sentiment with the reporters of the White House South Lawn Wednesday, 2 days after Maisha Johnson told ABC that she was very angry at the president after he spoke to her on the phone following the death of her husband. There's quotes saying that I can only say this: I was really nice to her, I respected her, and I respected her family. And I don't know, they're laying the president over this whole thing. The president continued to refute what Maisha Johnson claimed that Trump forgot her husband's name. ABC News on Monday, and he heard him. She heard him stumbling on trying to remember her husband's name. Johnson went on to say, quote, "That's what hurt me the most, because if my husband is out there fighting for our country and he's risked his life for our country, why can't you remember his name?" And certainly Donald Trump stating that he said something about he knew what he signed up for. I don't know. I think people argue over stupid things. I'm beginning to think that. I think that sometimes people just argue over stupid things. They're making a federal case out of this now. They're making it so ridiculous. Here's what Donald Trump said about this. Right here. Just check this out. This is what Donald Trump said about it.
Well, I think the press makes me more uncivil than I am. You know, people don't understand. I went to an Ivy League college. I was a nice student. I did very well. I'm a very intelligent person. The fact is, I really believe the press creates a different image of Donald Trump than the real person. Well,
yeah, the press poses a different image of Donald Trump, he says. Well, maybe so. The news media does slam him more than they give him credit for anything, because the press is liberal, okay, and they don't like this Republican president, okay, so they're going to slam him whenever they can, because their candidate, the criminal Hillary Clinton, didn't win. So see, they're just ticked off. Okay, technically that's all that is. They're just plain ticked off. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. I got more of the Gary Russen program. And coming up in this next hour, this next half hour, it's 45 minutes, we're going to wrap up the show. And in this next half hour, we're going to talk about a kid who slams the left-wing media. He's a kid who's a Trump supporter. You're going to love this one. It's coming up next. I'll be right back on the Gary Russen program.